Integrity system has its own specific goals, which it aims to develop and maintain a culture of consistent leadership and working practices across all levels of the organization. Second, it aims to enable an ethical, safe, respectful, and inclusive working environment for all, to foster an understanding of and adherence to TI's values and expected behaviors among staff at all levels. Other than that, its goal is to develop and maintain organizational resilience against actions, decisions, and behaviors that compromise the integrity of the organization or those that represent it, to reduce the likelihood and impact of integrity violations as much as possible, to build awareness and confidence in the integrity reporting channels so that a greater proportion of violations are reported, and lastly to ensure that actual and suspected breaches of TI's values and behavioral standards are effective and robustly managed. It is not a doubt that every system has their own issues. As for integrity, one of its issues is fraudulent. Fraudulent is a deceptive action done to deceive others that results to personal or financial gain. According to Kalabunga, fraud is known as an action or cause of deception and intentional concealment of truth to gain unfair advantage. Based on Duffield and Grabowski, fraudster, or also known as person that commits fraud, is someone who is intelligent, experienced, and knowledgeable about control, but has a low personal ethics.
Now, moving on to the main issue, in one article written by Muhammad Bashir, it was mentioned that Malaysia suffered RM2.33 billion losses due to cybercrime fraud. Police also mentioned that almost 70,000 cases were reported starting from 2017 until June 2021. This crime includes investment scams, illegal loans and investment loans. Domestic and Trade and Consumer Affairs Deputy Minister Datuk Rosman Wahid mentioned that the development of e-commerce will lead to double-edged swords, in which there will be increasement in fraud, scam and other cybercrime through digital platform. A total of more than 11,000 complaints on online transactions were also recorded, and as an initiative, Commercial Crime Investigation Department has launched the Tak Nak Scam campaign together with other agencies to spread awareness regarding cybercrime.
Penjana Career 2.0 is an economic recovery incentive under Ministry of Human Resources that is administered by SOCSO National Employment Service to promote job creation among employers while increasing employment prospects. According to Human Resource Minister Datuk Sri M. Sarawanan, over 300 possible fraud cases involving penjana hiring fraud. He also mentioned that there are employers committing fraud to receive funds under Penjana Hiring Program. Social Security Organisation SOCSO Anti-Fraud Team had received hundreds of complaints about such abuse, and there is a company that used fake name to be eligible for subsidies. And in order to settle this issue, Police and Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission will be referred. Relating to this case, former Human Resource Minister urged the government to investigate the report that claimed that some firms were falsifying employment data to gain funds to incentive hiring disbursed under Penjana program.
Actor involved in the incident is victim, fraudster and public bodies. Firstly is victim. In the article, there are number of victims. The several have lost from the cybercrime fraud. There are 7,552 incident and e-commerce scam, for a total of 33.2% complaint on online transaction. There are several factors that can cause the victim to be easily decided, and one of them is when the victim seems to be an easy target for the fraudster. Next is the fraudster. Fraud would not have happened without fraudster. This occurs when an irresponsible party takes advantage toward the growth of science and technology for personal gains. This unethical individual usually involved in the growth of e-commerce like a double-edged sword with the scam, fraud, and other virtual crimes committed through digital platforms that go hand in the hand with the excellence of digital commerce that can provide benefit to them. Lastly is public body. In this cybercrime issue, Commercial Crime Investigation Department (CCID), with the help from government, agency, consumer association and industry player, has launched the hashtag Tak Nak Scam awareness campaign. The government key duty in the medium and long term is to address the importance of digital literacy among Malaysia's young population in order to control and avoid an imminent wave of fraud.
In this cybercrime fraud issue, there are few implications that involve many people and an organization, such as implication to a country and the reputation of public bodies. No country is free from fraud crime. The impact faced by each country depends on the level of frequency that crime occurred, and the level of frequency must depend on the level of inclination of a country to care and try to prevent this issue from recurring. The threat can tarnish the image of a country if the statistic of criminal fraud is high. In addition, criminal fraud also can affect the national security system of the country. The next one is implications toward public bodies. Public entities that proactively manage their risk may be less vulnerable to reputational damage and can use their reactions to develop trust with other public bodies. However, when the opposite things happen, reputational damage will arise. Among the reputational effects that may arise are the erosion of trust in government and industry, decrease in employee morale and performance, and damage to international and economic reputation. Once employees' morale and performance decrease, the productivity organizational culture will be affected.
Implication for human impact. This is because the effect of fraud can result in various health problems, both physical and mental to a person. For example, in the case of 1.7 million Malaysians suffered losses by investing in Ponzi schemes, which are money games or fraudulent schemes that promise high returns with low risk to investors. The consequences of losing property, sources of income, family members and so on can cause the victim to feel depressed and lose guidance in life.
The first recommendation to enhance integrity system is through a campaign to raise awareness. Leadership through example, clean, efficient and trustworthy campaign as a policy that became practice to all civil servants, specifically in the service of federal government. This campaign are to ensure that all citizens in public service really provide the best service which is worthy of emulsion and always prioritize that the service delivered shall be performed cleanly from all misconduct and corruption.
And lastly, the reinforcement of ethics in organization. To facilitate the implementation of ethics, morality and integrity education in the organization, they need to formulate an ethical policy, code of ethics, code of conducts, rule of conducts, as well as core values organization to serve as a guide to all members of the organization.